Imagine this scene. You're excited, maybe nervous, you just bought some ETH and now you want to send it to a friend or swap it for another token. You press confirm and you wait more. The network is busy today. The gas fee spikes. Suddenly, you're paying 5, 10, maybe $30 for one simple transaction. It feels almost absurd. How can something designed to revolutionize finance and empower the world be this slow, this expensive, this inconvenient? If you've ever been there, watching the pending transaction spinner mock you, you've already experienced the core problem that pushed the crypto world to search for a solution. That solution is what we call Layer 2. To understand Layer 2, we must start from the foundation. Layer 1 blockchains like Bitcoin and Ethereum. They're the base layer, the original infrastructure, the digital cities built brick by brick with strong priorities: security and decentralization. Bitcoin secures value like digital gold, while Ethereum enables smart contracts and a vast universe of applications. But they share one major limitation: scaling. A blockchain that must validate every transaction on-chain across thousands of distributed nodes moves carefully and methodically. It's like having a single highway where every car must take the same route. No shortcuts, no alternative lanes. When traffic is light, the ride is smooth. When millions join, congestion becomes inevitable. Speed slows, fees rise, and user experience crumbles. Layer 2 was born from that pain. It's not here to replace Layer 1. Instead, it exists to support it, like building an elevated expressway above the crowded highway, allowing most vehicles to move faster while the original road remains intact below, strong, and secure. Layer 2 networks take transactions off the main chain, process them elsewhere, and then send back compressed results to Layer 1 for final security. It's clever, elegant, and surprisingly simple once you picture it. Instead of all cars fighting for the same lane, most now travel freely on new roads, leaving Layer 1 to act as the final judge and record keeper. But how does this actually work in practice? Different Layer 2 solutions use different techniques, yet the philosophy is similar: move computation away from the base chain. Some use channels, like opening a tab at a bar. You transact multiple times off-chain and settle the final balance on Layer 1 later. This is how Bitcoin's Lightning Network works, enabling instant micropayments for a fraction of a cent. Others bundle thousands of transactions together into what we call roll-ups. Optimistic roll-ups assume transactions are valid unless proven otherwise, while ZK roll-ups use cryptographic proofs to verify everything instantly. Then there are plasma chains, sidechains, state channels, an ecosystem of approaches, all racing toward the same goal: speed, scalability, and accessibility. Layer 2 networks like Arbitrum, Optimism, zk-Sync, Base, Starknet, and more have become bustling environments of their own, filled with DeFi apps, NFT projects, games, and liquidity flowing faster than ever before. Fees drop from dollars to cents. Transactions settle in seconds instead of minutes or hours. Suddenly, blockchain feels like how we always imagined it: fluid, responsive, almost seamless. Yet, Layer 2 is not magic. It doesn't replace security. It leverages security. Layer 1 remains the foundation, the bedrock of trust. Think of Ethereum or Bitcoin as a fortress, thick walls designed to protect value. Layer 2 builds thriving marketplaces outside the walls, busy, fast, full of life, while still connected to the fortress for safety. You move freely outside, but when needed, you can step back inside knowing your assets remain protected by the strongest cryptography we have. This is why Layer 2 matters. Without it, blockchain would remain slow, expensive, and difficult to use. A brilliant invention trapped inside its own limitations. With it, we begin to see a path toward mass adoption. A world where blockchain isn't just for traders or tech enthusiasts, but for ordinary people paying for coffee, playing games, minting NFTs, streaming music, transferring value as easily as sending a message. We've built the foundation. Now we're building the roads on top. And that leads us into the next big question. If Layer 2 solves scalability, increases speed, lowers cost, and makes blockchain feel usable, then what does that mean for the future? Why is Layer 2 not just a technical upgrade, but a key to unlocking the next chapter of Web3? Let's move to part 2, where things get even more exciting. Close your eyes and picture the digital world 10 years from now. Not the world we have today, but the world blockchain promised, where identity is self-owned, Value moves without banks, where digital art, gaming assets, and financial tools belong to you, not corporations. Millions, maybe billions of people are interacting with decentralized apps daily, swapping tokens as easily as sending emails, playing blockchain games that rival mainstream titles, tokenizing real estate, sharing revenue streams, creating new financial markets in real time. But ask yourself honestly, could Ethereum or Bitcoin, in their current form, handle that scale alone? The answer is no. Not today. Not without Layer 2. Layer 2 is the bridge between the blockchain dream and reality. Without it, we're stuck in the slow lane. With it, we unlock throughput high enough to support global usage. Think about the internet in the 90s. Slow, clunky, dial-up tones screeching through the speakers. It was revolutionary, but limited. Then broadband arrived. Video streaming became possible. Social networks exploded. Innovation accelerated. Layer 2 is blockchain's broadband moment. With Layer 2, decentralized exchanges operate smoothly even during peak hours. NFT minting events don't crash networks with insane gas fees. Blockchain games with thousands of players don't lag or cost a fortune to play. Microtransactions, paying a creator 1 cent per view, tipping someone for a post, renting an in-game asset for a minute, suddenly make economic sense. Low fees create new behaviors. New behaviors create new industries. This matters beyond convenience. It's economic infrastructure. When fee barriers fall, participation rises. When participation rises, liquidity increases. When liquidity increases, markets expand. Layer 2 doesn't just make things faster, it makes them possible. An economy cannot thrive if transactions cost more than their value. Even more important, Layer 2 achieves this without sacrificing decentralization or security. Layer 1 remains the anchor, storing and verifying data. Layer 2 becomes the experience layer, where everyday interactions happen. It's a natural separation of roles, like how real-world courts only handle disputes, not every minor agreement between citizens. We don't need the entire world to watch every coffee purchase. We only need a secure settlement layer backing the truth beneath it. This architecture opens the door for innovation. Roll-up technology is advancing rapidly. ZK proofs are shrinking in size, becoming cheaper and faster to generate. Optimistic rollups are refining fraud-proof systems. Data availability layers are evolving to support even greater throughput. Competition among Layer 2 networks fuels creativity, each trying to be cheaper, faster, more user-friendly. The result? A thriving landscape that pushes the entire industry forward. And so we arrive at the bigger narrative. Layer 2 is not merely a technical fix or performance patch. It is the key that unlocks Web3 for the world. Without it, blockchain remains niche. With it, blockchain becomes inevitable. The path ahead is clear. We will live in a multi-layer ecosystem. Layer 1 chains, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and others, will act as settlement and security layers. Layer 2 networks will serve as bustling hubs of activity where apps thrive and users interact fluidly. Eventually, people may not even know they're using Layer 2. It will fade into the background, like HTTPS or TCP/IP, infrastructure invisible but indispensable. This is the transition we are living through right now, a shift from theoretical potential to practical adoption. A moment similar to transitioning from dial-up internet to high-speed, subtle at first, then unstoppable. The world doesn't flip overnight. It evolves, quietly, gradually, and then suddenly, everything feels different. So when we ask, what is Layer 2 and why does it matter? The answer is simple, but profound. Layer 2 is the pathway that makes blockchain scalable, affordable, usable, and universal. It transforms possibility into reality. It opens the gates for billions to step into Web3. It is not just a technological layer. It is the future of how humans will interact digitally, with ownership, freedom, and unprecedented creativity. In the end, Layer 2 is the bridge, and we are walking across it, step by step, toward a decentralized world waiting on the other side.